Welcome everyone to this afternoon's conference. My name is Iris. This is Alessia.
Welcome everybody. Hi.
This conference is a room to encounter us with you with us, for you to get the chance to meet us, to learn and hear about the retreats that we do, the work that we do, and to ask all the questions that you could possibly have. And for everybody who's connecting now or who is already connected, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. And please feel free to put all the questions that you have in YouTube, in Facebook, anywhere. We're observing the pages. And then while you put your questions, we will respond. In the meantime, maybe we can give a little overview of what it is that we do. The conference is mainly about the retreats we do with ancestral remedies. It's the retreats that we have so far been organizing from the Inner Mastery organization, which now has been fused with all the other organizations that we are working together in Beyond Inner. The main reason for somebody to come to a retreat, from my experience, is that you are looking for something, that you have this inner need, this urge to go beyond what your life is right now, to go further, that you know that there's something more to life than what you have right now. Maybe there's something that you perceive as a problem. It can be a conflict that you have with yourself or with the others. Sometimes it is a behavior that you would like to change, or maybe just the place that you find yourself in your life, that you may be not happy with your job, with your relationship, with the way you live, and that you're looking for something more. And this something more you will not find in the retreat, but we will support you in finding this in yourself. And the idea is that throughout the whole time that we're connected, from the moment that we talk to you, that you come to the retreat, to the moment that you are there, and afterwards, that all the time we are there to accompany you.
Yeah, and as Ari said, to accompany you. This is exactly our approach. So you will never, quite rarely, listen to us saying, come and we will help you. Come and we will guide you. What's the difference? Is there a difference when we when we are expecting that somebody will help us, guide us, or if there are some facilitator, this is the way we call us, that is there to accompany you with their presence. Well, in our approach, in this method that we have been developing for 5-6 years now, and the founder of the organization has been developing also before, we have this experience when a person comes to have a transformation. If we say to the person, okay, I help you, it would be like taking the power from the person and saying to the person, I help you. So it's like I have more power than you on your situation. Follow what I say, follow this technique, and you will have a result. And if I say this, whose is the responsibility of the result of the transformation? It seems that it's an external result that will come with an external responsibility. Why? While the journey that we do together is an internal transformation to recover our internal power. In this way, when the person comes back home, can really feel this awakening happening inside and continue the process home by themselves, because we accompany the person to recover this energy, this joy for life, these tools, then this power that is internal. And when you reconnect with this and with all these states, internal essence, you can go back to that space also when you are home without the person that were accompanying you at the retreat.
And many times I receive the question, how do I prepare myself for the retreat? And the best answer for this would be, the best way to prepare yourself is to not prepare yourself. What you might or will probably encounter during the retreat is something that you've never imagined that could be part of your life. It's the meeting with the mystery, the meeting with a part of you that you haven't connected with, a part of you that you forgot, a part of you that has been hidden by all the layers of beliefs, of ideas, of limitations that you have accumulated over your life. And so the best preparation from my point of view, if there's any advice that I could give, would be to not prepare yourself, to just come as you are, to just be who you are right now and see what happens. What do you think about this, Alessia?
Yeah, it's very interesting because when people arrive to our retreats, we used to say, okay, now the first activity will be the preparation of everything that you read, all the videos that you watched, all the testimonials that you looked for to read, to prepare yourself. It's okay, of course, because we all have this curiosity before going to a new experience. At the same time, all this information can create a scheme of expectations, while the great experience in this retreat is to open ourselves to the mystery, because life is unexpected, and actually we become more flexible in if we pass through the retreat with this flexibility. We can really practice it, and also practice trust, which is a wonderful energy And when I enter in an experience, trusting, of course, the people and the organization, otherwise I wouldn't come. And this is why, for example, we give these conferences, because we want you to see us. We are real people. We have our life, our emotions, our processes, as we call it. So yes, we want you to know us. We want to know you. At the same time, when we say trust, we mean also to open us to this new experience without the need to know what will happen every minute because of my need of control, which, as in our experience, control is one of the main causes of some internal problems that we feel with our emotions and with our sadness or lack of joy in our life.
Yeah, that is true. And I believe that I would say everybody who comes to the retreat has some sort of process about control. Mm-hmm. And this is the main thing that that we need to overcome. Well, we need to overcome that. We do overcome at some point in this process, because the contact with the remedies, whatever happens in the process, has the main impact that can be achieved. This is not the right way to say it, but the main impact that occurs in you while you're doing the process with the remedies has to do with your opening, with your possibility to connect with it in that moment. And there's nothing you can do. There's nothing that you can do wrong. That's the best message, I think, for everybody, that there's nothing you can do wrong in this process. There's nothing you can do wrong in the preparation. There's nothing you can do wrong when you book the retreat. There's no perfect option for you. Like, the question is whether I book 3 nights or 2 nights, or maybe I book a kambo and a bufo and maybe a boga, or maybe whatever. The easiest answer, there's no right way. There's no way to do this process. It's your process, it's your life, and you can't make a mistake. Whatever happens, it's exactly perfect for you in that moment. Whatever you choose to do, whatever happens during the contact with ayahuasca, for example, from experience we know that everything that you receive is always exactly what you need. And it can be that the first time you have the contact, it will be maybe like sometimes Alberto gives the example, like it's like a first date. Yeah. It could be that you meet ayahuasca and you make a contact, and maybe you take your hand, maybe you receive a smile, maybe you receive a kiss goodnight when you leave, like maybe there's some little interactions, maybe you hug, and maybe you go to bed. Like, anything could happen, and you can't prepare for it, you don't know. And everything that happens the first night, that happens the next night, every time where you get the chance to go deeper and deeper, to get to know yourself, to find out who you really are, or maybe we could say who you're not, because many times in this process of inner evolution, like we call it, like the process to go deeper and deeper into yourself, to find all the layers of what is conditioned in your life. It's actually, for me, and I don't know how you explain it, Alessia, would be to learn, like, to find out who we're not. Mm-hmm. This whole process of learn, like the self-discovery, for me has been a process of learning who I'm not, and also in that sense learning who I am. But it's more and more letting go of whatever I thought I was, to see what's below all of that.
Yeah, I agree, and also to recognize that when I have some reaction in some situations that happen very often in my life, I could experience that I was stuck in some kind of reactions of emotions, or, for example, the reaction to decide to give up some situations that were very challenging for me. And during this inner evolution work, I could experience that there is a huge there are a huge amount of possibilities, and I was really limiting myself. So really, we can discover these layers of lie with which we are identified. It's like when some participant come and say at the beginning, very with this posture, I'm a very shy person, so I will speak just a little, and then during the retreat, many things happen, many new people to get in contact, and on the third or the fourth day of the retreat, you see a completely different person. And so we say to the person, so who do you think you are? To challenge the beliefs. The person who is speaking now in front of all these people, or the person that arrived the first day? Actually, we are not only one thing, but we are identified until we live in this conditioning, in this scheme. We are identified with some parts of our service. So I may think that it's difficult for me to speak in front of a group of people, and I start to define myself, I'm a shy person. And then I can see that in a group of people where I feel comfortable because there is no judgment and I feel it's a safe space, I can finally open myself. And with this, I want to, I'm sure that one of the characteristics of our retreats is that there is a no judgmental environment. Every activity is characterized by this. So this is very important for an inner evolution work, to feel safe in a space where, as you said, you cannot fail. You can do anything wrong. You cannot say anything wrong. Nobody will judge you. You can say the strangest thing that happened to you in your life, and we will listen to, as the other participants would do, because it's magic. It's magic. The profound, the deep listening atmosphere that we co-create together with all the people coming.
Co-creating is a very beautiful word, Alessia. It's true. It's how I feel it too. We are living here together in a house in Madrid, one of the centers that we have. The retreats that we hold are usually held in one of the centers. We have 11 houses all over the world. The retreats that are held in main language English are happening in Waterford, an island, and also in Marbella in Spain. And then we have many other cities and other countries where we do retreats in another language, like in Spanish, in Italian, or in German, and we translate to English most of the times, or if it's necessary, we can translate to English. So if basically you can come in any of the cities that you would want to come, in any of the houses, and meet us and experience how we live and experience the retreat as well. And so for this summer, we have a special offer that I think is amazing, and I wish for many of you to be able to make use of it. We opened this new club, the BN Club, in which when you become a member and you pay, you buy our cryptocurrency, the inner coin, and with that inner coin you can do whatever you want. You can go to a retreat, you can come to one of our centers to live there, you can travel to the jungle with us, you can buy products from our shop like microdosing, and we have an offer where the more you pay, the more we gift you. So basically, for example, if you pay 1,000 euro, you receive value of what you can do with us for 2,000 euro. So basically, we double whatever you invest into our organization. And when you pay less than 1,000, it's a bit less than double. But basically, the offer is that if you invest in us, and if you invest in your inner evolution, basically, we gift you value of the money, so that you can make the best use out of our programs and really get the chance for making your inner evolution process, and that we can accompany you in the best way possible and whatever you need.
Yeah, because this with this opportunity, it's not only one activity that a person can choose, but it's very comprehensive method, we could say, because we really believe and test every week, every day, all the link that there are in our body, soul, heart, emotion. So we don't focus only on one aspect of our wellness. We truly believe and live on us that our wellness is a whole process. And so with this being club, we could really find the way to create this opportunity for everybody to invest something and have more value to access to this variety of services and activities. And this is wonderful, especially this summer with the conscious vacation, as we are calling them. It would be a wonderful opportunity for all those who wants to take advantage in a special way of your time, of your summer, and give yourself this opportunity to invest on you and also enjoy this period, because we have fun, a lot of fun together.
Yeah, that's true. So the houses that we're mainly doing this conscious summer are one of the beach house that we have in Marbella, which is just 50 meters from the beach. We will have a lot of activities there. There's going to be retreats also, so there will be the possibility to do inner evolution retreats. We also do conscious school. There's going to be dance workshops. There's going to be all type of holistic things going on, and you can
so
book
something with the sport.
With sports. Yeah. So it's really a holistic offer, and you can choose how long you want to stay and how much activities you want to do. There's the house in Marbella, then there's a house in Madrid and in Barcelona.
Yeah. Milan too.
I
will be there.
Say Milan, exactly. We have the house in Waterford. It's a beautiful castle. It's a beautiful house in the countryside. There's a video in YouTube also about that castle of consciousness. I think the video is called the Castle of Consciousness. And there's already now a group of people already living in the house, and there's a few more over the summer to accompany everybody who takes part in this program. And we already have quite a lot of registrations, especially in Waterford. But yeah, we do have conscious, or sometimes we say unconscious, communities living in these centers that we call epicenters, and we say sometimes unconscious or inconscious, because basically we are all in the same path of inner evolution. It's the path that you might already be on, or you're starting right now. And we are all becoming more and more aware of our unconscious behaviors. And we're becoming more and more conscious. But especially when living together with here in this house, we are right now more or less 30 people. It is quite a big group, and it's a very beautiful way to live together, to share. We have a garden. We are building furniture for outside. We're making beautiful things in the house. But it can be quite confronting, because you can imagine with 30 people, we don't usually have our own rooms, so we share. And there's a lot of things coming up that you might otherwise maybe avoid by running away, by having your own space. And here you really get the chance to look at yourself. And there's no way of running away from it, and it's beautiful. I don't know if any of you that are connected would like to share your questions or your comments. Maybe Ciro has something that he would like to share with us. And otherwise, we can just continue sharing about the way we live, the way we love. There's a lot of love here as well.
And right now?
Some people are shy also. Yeah, but there are people connected, right? We have visitors. Yeah. Thank you for being with us. If you don't have questions, that's fine too. Just continue talking.
Yeah, yeah. In preparation of all the day in which we will meet, when you decide to come, in these days we also have many online activities that were created to connect during the period of the lockdown. And of course was unexpected for everybody. And among all the challenging situation, we decided during that period to find a creative way to overcome this the impossibility to continue with the presential retreat. So that's why this channel was born, and so we have this emission in English, and this is a conference, and we also have at the end of this emission we also have a workshop that will be about the original wounds, and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. This is a way to know each other and also to discover something more about our method. Because as we already said, we work on very different levels. So, for example, exploring our inner wounds is a way to know more about myself, to understand more about my reality, and this could be a good step to decide to join a retreat, because imagine that what you will feel during 1 hour will be multiplied for 70 more times if you come for 3 days. We, as Ari said before, we don't tell you come to the retreat for 1, 2, 3, 7 days because for you this is perfect. No, we recommend to the person what we saw, some things that we saw that are very useful, usually for many people, which is, for example, to stay more than at least 2 nights, and if more, it's even better, because it's the time that we need to get in contact, to release a bit control, to feel more confident and feel more in contact, yes, with the people present at the retreat. And really many participants found in their life that participating for 3, 4 or sometimes 1 week, for example, gave them a transformation that they couldn't live in their life with years or other kind of inner work. Imagine the difference when you do, for example, an activity 1 hour per week, and then you go back to your life, to the same house and environment, and for the rest of the week. What we do is staying together for days. So this allows us to go deeper in these processes. And I could see the difference. For example, I come from a psychological approach, also in counseling, and during my training, I used to go also to group inner evolution group, and I could see the difference when I was going there 2 hours per week, and then the rest of the week, okay, it was always the same environment. And then when I went to the retreats, I could really go deeper in all my processes, staying 3, 4, 5 days all together with people who have the same purpose. So it's really, really powerful.
And then imagine going to live in a center for a week, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month. You can come even for 3 months, or you can live in the center for, I don't know, I've been living in the center now for 2 years, I just realized.
Wow.
Since I joined the organization, I moved into the epicenter in Marbella back then. But it's just, I love to be in this surrounding. Apparently I love confrontation. But the houses that we live in are really beautiful. Like all of them, I think all of them have a pool. I think Waterford does not have a pool. But in Ireland, the weather is usually not that great that you need a pool. But all the other houses have a pool. And people
in
are just
contact
so
with
lovely.
nature. Yeah. Here in Madrid, for example, you walk 10-20 minutes and you can reach a river. And also the house in Waterford has got a huge garden. The house in Milan, behind the house there is a wonderful forest. And in Marbella you are 2 minutes walking from the beach.
So usually the sessions with natural remedies we're usually doing them inside. In the houses where we have good gardens, big gardens, we oftentimes do also sessions outside if we can. That is easier with things like bufo-varios or with cambo, because it's an individual session that is more easy to move outside because it's easier to oversee. The sessions with ayahuasca, many times we do them inside, also because it's more protected in a way. It feels more cozy, more like like a community thing. But in the houses that we also sometimes do the sessions outside. I'm not sure if you have been able to do this in Milan. Maybe with a small group you can do it.
Yeah, in a small group in the forest we can do it. Actually, we created also a circle in a space in the forest where there are no trees, and we also created the structure of a door with some wood, and it's very beautiful. Yeah.
That's very beautiful. So you opened the door to your personal transformation.
Yes.
That's so beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, in places like Germany, for example, we don't have a house at the moment. We're looking for a center. If in case anyone is watching who has a possibility to rent us a center, let me know. I'm asking everyone now because this year we're gonna make it happen. And we rent houses over the weekend, like 3-4 nights. And oftentimes we are lucky to have houses that have big gardens. So we have been able to do the sessions outside in Germany when the weather is good. Last year we had a beautiful session in a house close to Berlin. And it's beautiful to be able to do that as well. And like this, we're traveling the different places in Germany to see where the center will have to be, because that's thing that we're seeing more and more people getting interested. And so it will happen this year. If latest on the 31st of December, I'm going to sign the contract. But I think before, but latest this year, it's going to happen.
I didn't know about this. It's a news for me.
It's a manifestation.
A manifestation. Great. Yeah. And in the other conferences, I was not present. Did you speak also about entheogens? The
project?
No. Sorry. What is how we? Yeah, this is a question for you. What do you consider the importance in your life of this experience with entheogens so far? If you can share it.
For me, it sounds theoretical, but for me it's quite useful to go to the origin of the word entheo, and it's the word for God. And so for me, the word somehow expresses the connection to the divine, the meeting with the divine. And it sounds cliche, but for me it's exactly what it is. It's like the realization that we are so much more than what we believe, that we are divine at the same time that we are human. And to me, this was an idea that I heard about before, and I thought I had comprehended what it means, but I hadn't. And to me, it's really like the the incredible vast amount of possibilities of opportunities that before I wasn't seeing, by connecting to this deep knowledge of that love is eternal, that I am connected to everything somehow, that I am part of the universe in a way, and connecting to that knowledge gives the way that I live in my human life a very different context, because it makes everything more light and funny somehow. And not that it means it doesn't matter, but it's like somehow the context becomes different once we realize that we are divine, and we are divine.
So it's like, let's say, taking yourself less seriously to be able to play seriously and to enjoy this life. And I also received from your words the possibility to explore our potential. We use very often this word, and of course for each person can have a different meaning. And for me, for example, potential is what you said, to explore different possibilities. And what I see is that I can do this only when I am lighter with myself, lighter with people, especially with those who are important for me, and I am less stressed about life, what can happen. And I want to connect also with the topic of this week for our workshops, because we have also some morning workshops, and this week the topic is failure. And yes, I can see that the work with the entheogens, and we for example, we include in the entheogens ayahuasca, bufalvarius, yopo. The work with these entheogens can also give us a different approach about failure in our life. And what we were exploring, for example, is that failure actually doesn't exist. Because if I just act and live my life from my inner truth, what I live are experiences from which I can learn. So it's wonderful that if I transcend all my limitation, or my limiting beliefs, or the lies with which I'm identified, I can see that there is not anymore this dichotomic vision of life, success, failure. I feel if I feel sad, I want to escape from this. I want to live only happiness. And connecting with your divine part, for me, taste like this. Taste like entering connection with our essence, which is a whole. There are no our essence is not dichotomic. In our essence, we don't have this need to reject something. And during our retreats and our co-living in these in our epicenters, I find I could experience this. And what I can see is that during the retreats, of course, we have many moments in which we can really touch in practice this divine essence. And when you live in a retreat, you also have the daily, more or less, input from the people living with you. So when, for example, you are entering in a, mental loop about something, you have people who are living this inner evolution process who can answer you in a way that maybe you have never received from other people. Because people who are not in this evolution path, we are used to some common reaction. it's like we are if we are not on an inner evolution path, it's like we say you buy the character of the other person. And here we saw that you don't need to buy the lie of the other. It's better if you are authentic and if you are yourself, and if you don't feel comfortable with a reaction of the person or with what the person is saying, and if you are honest sharing this sensation with the other person, in that very moment, yes, maybe you will feel a conflict, but the other person will be very grateful of what you are sharing. And I am really grateful about this opportunity, because I live in one of our houses too, as I said, in Milan, and also here. Now that I'm here in Madrid, I can see this cooperation between people, and it's wonderful. I feel it.
Yeah, for me, it's at this moment of my life the only way to live. I wouldn't want to live any other way. What came to me while I listened to you was when you talked about the dichotomy. What came to me is to ask you, that you are connected over there. What do you believe? What do you see as right and wrong in your life? And do you know where these ideas come from? What is right and what is wrong? To me, that is one of the main things that I have questioned, or I have completely transformed in the way I look at the world since I started this path, because at some point you realize that any type of judgment that we do comes from a very deep place of fear, the need to control, the need to know how things are. And the moment I need to decide what is right and what is wrong, I limit myself from seeing that there's so much more behind needing to see this is right or wrong. If I can see something objectively for what it is, a situation, maybe the behavior of a person, my financial situation, like anything, if I can see what is, instead of needing to feel good or bad about it, like all these definitions, like black and white, all of that limit us to be in one of the extremes. And for me, like looking at all the extremes that I have in my life, like seeing that there's a middle way, that there's something that doesn't have to be this or that, but it can be so much more than that, made me realize how it's like a practical way to see that there's so much more, because it would go beyond the definition, beyond the judgment. And the curious thing is that in any retreat, and I'm not sure if like for me I experienced it that way, like in any retreat, there's a group of people coming together that have very similar things that they work on. And one of the reasons is that we all have like very similar baseline experiences that we perceive as traumas, like the lack of love, rejection, abandonment, something that has to do with relationships, the way we relate to others, the mother, the father. Every one of us has something in one of these points that connects us all. And somehow in all the retreats, there's a group of people coming together that have exactly the right mixture of being able to work together on a specific thing. And that's for me the most amazing thing that happens, like how everything comes together so perfectly every single time. The same thing like in the houses we live together, like the people that are there, everybody is there for whatever reason, but it's perfect the way we are. Whatever's happening, somebody has a behavior I don't like, everything is always giving me something about me, like showing me something about me and the way I perceive reality.
Yeah, this seems that in the epicenter, when there is a one week or 2 weeks in which a group of people, when you are living something and you're working on an aspect of your life, then you talk with somebody else and you discover that they are living the same. It's like we enter in resonation, living together. And we, for example, 1 week we are working on trust. Well, I'm working on trust, exploring myself, and then I talk with somebody else living in the house, and he says, "Yeah, yesterday I was, reading that text, and I realized that," and we get to these comprehensions. This is a very important word that I can say that I discovered really the importance of this word comprehension in this path, because we make a distinction between understanding, which is more with the mind. You can understand something important in life and that works well in life. Also, reading something or going to the training or because you talk with somebody. But to comprehend is when you really let it enter inside yourself and you feel it in your heart. You truly embody it, integrate it in you. And this can happen in many ways, even with a text, reading a text. But it's different, the openness that you have, the attitude that you have in that moment, and that's why living together for 1 week or for 1 month, it's a very fertile field for comprehensions, for personal comprehensions. And during the activity that we do in the retreats in the morning, and we call it the integration, we share what we are experiencing during the retreat, not only during the night, the sessions with the entheogens, but also during the other moments of the retreat, to share and to observe what we are feeling, also to let some comprehensions emerge. Because what we saw is that you don't get to a comprehension, but you create the conditions and so that the comprehension can reach you. So it's something that happens when you are not interested in controlling, when you are not with this mind, I must reach, I must obtain, I must understand something. When you relax and appreciate that each moment is fine, that you are wonderful the way you are. And when you relax and you open, the comprehension happen. And this is so magic and wonderful at the same time. And it's very important for us to accompany the people to let this comprehension happen, so that when I go home, I could make this link with my life, between what happened to me in the retreat or in the month in which I lived in one place and my life.
Yeah, it's true. The comprehension is one of the things that I find more difficult to explain what it actually is, because it is in a way something that reaches you. Yeah, it's nothing you can do for it. For me, that's really the biggest comprehension was that there's nothing to do. There's nothing that you can do wrong. There's nothing that you have to do to get better. There's not even anything that you should change in you. But once you start comprehending yourself better, and you see the conditioning, and you comprehend what's going on, you are going to change, but not from the place of wanting to change, but it will be a natural consequence of what you've comprehended. And that's the beautiful thing. Basically, the only thing you have to do is open yourself and receive. And it's so difficult to do that, but it's the only thing you have to do. There's nothing else to do.
And relax.
And relax. Relax, receive, open yourself, and allow things to happen. And there's nothing else to do. And that's the most difficult thing to accept, because we're so conditioned to always do, to have to change, to get better, to be more successful, to be better at, to know everything. It's not even about knowing anything. Sometimes people come and say they want to learn about themselves. They want to learn the method. There's nothing to learn either. There's no manual. There's no script that you can learn, or concepts that it's not about learning a new idea or a language. Maybe it's about learning a language. you get to learn the meaning of words. Maybe it's like
it's like a feeling becoming wiser, let's say, and that is not to have more knowledge. It's to feel wiser is such a treasure for the human being.
Yeah. It's amazing. Well, we're slowly coming to an end of this conference. If you have any questions that are still open now, like if now at the end of the live emission, or maybe you've seen the video from a few weeks ago, you came and find this video, there's going to be an email address somehow in a post or related in YouTube that you can contact us if you want. We're very, very happy to receive your questions, to receive you. You're welcome to share with us, to be with us. And I want to thank you for being there, for being with us, for Alessia, thank you for accompanying me.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
It was a pleasure to talk with you, with everybody out there, even though you haven't responded, but I know that you're there. Thank you so much for opening yourself to go down this road. It's really worth it. And I hope to see you soon, someday, in one of our centers.
Yeah, thank you and see you soon. And thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.